Hello, another talky, rambly video here. This one's for Toxicity Point by Hardcore Mazu, part of the 2nd January Jump Jam which just came out. I really look forward to these. They're maps which are focused around using the JCR Jump Boots mod, which allows you to double, triple and even quadruple jump depending on the power-ups that you have available to you. Part of both Arcane Dimensions and the Alkaline mod. This one uses Alkaline. I really enjoy these maps mainly because really take advantage of the Quake's beautiful movement system. Usually there's a lot more verticality in the maps, and there's a focus on platforming and in sort of inventive ideas that most maps don't really bother with usually. Last year's Smile Size map was the standout, really exciting one, and this time it's Mazu's turn to shine. So it's a smaller map by Mazu standards, only 250 monsters, but 37 secrets, so it's pretty dense. There's a lot of really cool platforming in this map, and I really wanted to show that off more than anything else. So this video is kind of like a middle ground between a speedrun and an absent-minded first playthrough, like what I did on Twitch recently. The speedrun is not something that would be very interesting to watch because the optimal solution is to get right to the end of the map, pick up the triple jump boots, and that bypasses a great deal of the interesting jumps. So what I've done here is I've gone through this sort of in an optimal way that minimises downtime, but doesn't skip over what makes the map special. So, enjoy! So starting here you can see there's this little warning. Difficulty settings have a pretty substantial effect actually in terms of item distribution. So on hard I have nothing, and it's going to be quite hard to get a foothold. But you can see here, starting to pick stuff up. At this point you can go for a shotgun early on, but I've decided I'd rather do it a little bit faster. There's logs everywhere as well, which I never actually looked at in this demo, to be honest with you, and I haven't looked at all of them myself, so maybe there's something more to that, but they have little hints and funny messages on there. But this here, here's an environmental hazard, this crate, which can crush any enemy. So I'm utilising this efficiently here to kill, what are they called, berserkers? And then a regular Hell Knight guy. And coming up here, this is where you can get the first secrets, which is through events. There's a lot of secrets in vents here, so if you're a big fan of Mazu's Smay map, in Smay 2, you're going to have a great time here, the tech-based portion. And this has activated this area here. So I saved all my ammo specifically for this reason, to kill those guys, because I'm going to be jumping back along the light sockets, and they just dock you in the nukage. That crate there can crush you, and it's really awkward. I think every single time I played this, like every time, it would knock me in at least once, which was quite amusing, but kind of embarrassing at the same time. So, another secret coming up here, another big early weapon, failing some basic jumps. I find it quite funny, in this particular demo I fail all the easy jumps and do the harder ones first time. I don't know what that means. So you got a lightning gun here, or the plasma gun, which is actually, I never liked it when I first started playing Alkaline, but now it's really starting to grow on me. It's a really good get-off-me weapon. It's really basic jumps get across this area here. Pushed forward quite effectively there by those guys. They make you push into this area where there's fiends. The fiends are inactive and it's easy to ignore them, but it's one of those things where you're getting spammed down by grenades and things. You might run into one. And here, just trying to be as efficient as possible with ammo. Using the explosive crates, having a good time. Collecting all these backpacks. These backpacks have varying items in them depending on which one you pick up. So just try and collect more, really. Drip feeds your resources. It really is like Telefrag the start of this map, but I was surprised to see how many people reading discussions on Telefrag that became a bit of an issue in the last week or two. People hate it. They don't understand the beginning because the powerlessness, I think, is too far. It's too much of a stealth segment. Whereas I guess here, though, you still have an axe. You still have some health. I love this room. It's a cool room, but I feel it's underutilised. Because you've got the limited space, you've got the safe sort of platforms with the nukage, and then you get this pincer attack here with the scrags and the enforcers, but it doesn't lock the door behind you. And because of that, I don't have to utilise any of the space there, do any platforming. So instead I can just come to this doorway, make them infight, and just chill out. Now, a way of making that a lot cooler would be obviously to have a switch inside the closet where the scrags were, which unlocks both the doors to continue, to progress outward. I missed a secret here purely because I forgot about it. Will I remember? I don't remember. I think I do at some point. But right now we are still hand-to-mouth in terms of ammo. I mean, 57 nails ain't bad. 18 shells. I've come to this point before and had, like, you know, 4 shells left. And this is the first major challenge this room here. There's an arachnophoid on the ground, who's tricky. You got these flamethrower blokes. You've got all sorts of stuff from above as well, but they're quite hard to see, which is actually a really good way of doing it. And down below as well, you've got the Prowler. I think those guys with the railguns are called as well. So it's a real dangerous situation. You want to be on this upper level, but you're so limited as to what you can do. And really, like, there is not enough ammo here to kill everything. If you don't know about the secrets, you pretty much are going to have to run away at this point and start using the jump boots to get some more items. But if you do, there's this here, which gives you a radsuit. And obviously in one of the nukage pits there's going to be something, and you get the quad. And with this quad, quite comfortably with very little ammo, as long as you found the initial secrets, on hard difficulty and above, you can just rinse these big guys. Clean up everything above here. Because cleaning this up later on is when you've got the full contingent of weapons, you've got the triple boots, quadruple boots, even at this point, whatever. It's still kind of a pain in the ass. So some more platforming up here. This is where the platforming gets a bit more obtuse. Bit of a ramp jump to get onto this area up here. I mean, again, when you pick up the triple jump, all of this becomes easily accessible once you reach the end of the map. But I figured that's not as interesting to watch. This is the way you can do it all, and every secret is accessible with just one set of boots. These guys up here, what are they called? Mega Enforcers? If you don't kill them while you're on this ledge, on Nightmare especially, they're never going to drop their shields, and you're never going to be able to snipe them to the ground. They are an incredible pain. But it's worth it. All that platforming gives you this rather lovely lightning gun. Or lightning cannon? I don't know what it's called. And with this now we have a lot more opportunity open. We've opened up the water treatment works, not the water treatment works, the barracks, and we have a lot more jumps that we can do, which is nice. Here's one of the secrets I missed here. I remembered and came for it on the way back. Those 6 shells don't look like much from that backpack, but early in the map they are actually a massive game changer. I'm now heading back to the start of the map. Those who are observant, I didn't look because I was in go mode really. There's a shotgun, a super shotgun, on a crate in the corner. And this is the kind of secret I like, which is just, you know, go back to the thing you remembered you couldn't get, now you have the tool. It's a really nice reward. It's very satisfying. And this door's opened as well. I believe this door opens once you get the crate moving. And there's a whole bunch of secrets in this room, and a secret fight encounter, which is actually really nice. So resource-wise here, just picking up the secrets first and off, not too exciting. There's that requires you to sort of do a ramp jump and turn to get to it, so you do need to have a solid grasp of the advanced movement to play this map and get all the secrets really. It's not like, even like a smile side map for example, all of those in Smay End. You don't need that, you can just press forward. Mazu's map's a bit more harsh. I love this encounter here, it's really good. Prowlers are extremely dangerous. That railgun hurts. It really hurts, and they're really intimidating with it. They have that archvile kind of vibe to them. Well, that's precisely how the backpack pattern works. But the trick here is to use these guns to move around the room, because you don't have enough ammo to kill them otherwise. They have, like, I think 777 health or something really high. And those lasers really hurt, as you just saw there. The sad thing about Prowlers is, for all their area deniability, they tend to get stuck in doorways and behind objects really easily, like that guy there. Which could have been an issue in this fight, but it wasn't. But it's a shame when they're an intimidating force in a room and you back into a choke point and they just can't follow you. And this rewards you with a grenade launcher, but nothing's free. You got some Bamblers to contend with here. Now Bamblers, they're just weak shamblers with no lightning attacks basically. So you can just axe them to death, very, very straightforward, but I like using these guns. Another amusing thing about these guns is a bit of a bug, you could say. If you press the button and stand right up against it, when the button comes back out, you get trapped inside it, at least on vkquake you do. And that wrecked my fun one time. So back up a little bit from switches when they press, you know. And here you've got the nukage route back, which gives you a rather lovely secret. Another mega health. Another secret here with another biosuit. I'm not really sure why you would need the second biosuit. I can't think of a legitimate reason for it. Maybe there was planned to be a bit more extension of places you could go in the new cage, maybe going through that little tunnel there underneath these platforms, but didn't really happen. So it's a bit overkill. So here we're now back in this room, and we have all this ability to climb on these lovely crates again, which is just great news. So if you ramp jump on this to get that extra bit of height, do the double jump, you can get on this crate. You can take out these rather pesky ogres. I'm forgetting enemies' names, it's one of those days. And it's the same on the other side, which is nice. Walking up that ramp may look a bit odd, but that is actually the way you're supposed to deal with that ramp and another jump in this map. It's perfectly legitimate in Quake just to do the really awkward waddling shimmy up a ledge. I think Warp Spasm has a funny one, and it's called like the Worth It... That's not called a Worth It secret. It has a name like the Agonizing Waste of Time or something in Bile Plant. It's got a funny, pithy name. And a bit more here. That secret trigger there is round the corner where the nails are. You can miss that. It's quite an obscure one. But as you can see, most of the other secrets are just kind of common sense ones. Just a lot of Mazu's secrets, why I really like his maps is when it comes to sequences, you see things and go, can I go there? And the answer is usually yes. And if you can, there'll be something waiting for you there. And if you can't, fair enough. So a lot of the secrets really are on that path. There's nothing too obtuse in this, where I really struggled to find stuff when I actually just went looking. So we're entering the barracks area here. Another ventilation shaft. This one seems like there's nothing going on, but no secret thing triggers, which should key you into thinking maybe there's more to it. And there's another ventilation shaft at the top. Takes you into a side room. There's a lot of these realistic sort of cubicle office spaces in this map, and they're okay. They're okay. It's fun just to kill stuff, but the enemies in them can't really do too much. It's particularly pronounced in the barracks. It's very much the case that you have that sort of thing in Mazu's Smajam map, with all the little houses in the village and the sauna. Some of those just have enemies in them for the sake of it. But there's a lot of other combat as well, which is actually multi-layered in open spaces, and that's the stuff that really matters. I guess you could call the stuff inside, like areas like this, kind of the incidental combat. There's just something to shoot at, there's something to see. You can be ambushed if you're not paying attention, I think that's the important thing, if you're just wandering about like a fool. Like that guy there, if you're not looking in that direction, he'll shoot you in the back. String of nails, it's a good enemy to put in that sort of situation. It's gonna hurt. So in here, this is actually the more important secret. There is a quad in that vent which we're going to use in this big open area, coming up, big freeform area, to kill the biggest threats and preserve as much ammo as possible. This is what I'm trying to think about now. I have to get up to it, make the jump, press the switch. Single grenade down there will kill everything, even the shielded guys, which is just marvellous. And it's now a matter of finding the prowlers. I believe they're called prowlers? And then there's mutants as well, which are like weaker fiends. That thing that attacked me in the acid bath there. And the whole trick to this area here is you can really take your time here. There's lots of ammo, lots of nooks and crannies, secrets and various ones, just ones to ammo and others. But I was trying to be a bit more efficient here. When I first played it, I spent ages just like wandering in circles, talking out loud on a stream and going, oh, I'm in this store again, oh, I've been here before. I realised just how frustrating that would be to watch, which is kind of the motivation for making this, which is just, how could you show this map off, but in a way which doesn't just like completely trivialise all the cool jumping stuff. So it's not just like a speed run where you just go into the end, getting the triple jump boots immediately, rocket jumping up everywhere, but also, you know, keeps the pace up. There's not too much to talk about in this area really at the moment. It is just, you have two sets of vents here. You have things hidden behind cubicles. There are more funny messages if you want to read them on the computer monitors. Not bad. The axe guys in Alkaline, I always thought they should have the kind of axe that the player has. They look really out of place with those axes there, the hatchets. It's the one thing in a very well-constructed, like, tech-based enemy set where I just think, wait, who are those guys? But then again, you could probably say maybe the groundskeeper or something found the way inside to have a cup of tea. So, secrets up here. That drop down there takes you to the place where the silver key is. But from here, you can also kill these guys. Get a secret. There's more jumps as well for those who are bold. You can jump around here. One secret here. There's no other like that. It's just that one. And there's another way in the vent as well, which leads to another secret dead end. So there's a lot of secrets packed into this map, and it's one of those maps where when you get to this sort of part, it's just like, well, here are 16 of the 37 secrets just right next to each other. Once you find one, it's kind of just unravelling them. Does mean that on an average playthrough you're probably going to miss one or two, but like, oh, where did I find that one? But you're going to get a good number of them. You're not going to walk away from this map thinking, oh god, I've only found one secret, what's wrong with me? Like Half-Life 1 vibe there. I just want to say as well, like, this map was made in a very short period of time, I think 4 days, which is ludicrous, like, really impressive. But you can see the construction in terms of actual, like, spaces is relatively straightforward, but it doesn't matter because the texturing and the detailing's so nice. And the focus is on actually, you know, the combat and the movement, and it's got the good lighting and stuff. It feels very substantial. Really substantial. I think it's a really pretty map. Really pretty map. And the fact it was made in 4 days just makes it all the more impressive to me. So, you know, kudos to Mazu there. Another room here. Sometimes I forget about this one. Just really covering all the bases. Getting set on fire is a real pain if you don't have a health kit immediately, because the burn effect lasts for so long. It's just irritating. Oh, and there's a pent up here, which is a strange one, because I never thought to myself, oh man, I really want this pent. There's no situation where I was ever thinking a pent would be good here. Maybe initially coming into this area, if you don't have quad, if you go into that room first, it's a nice thing to see, but I was a very muted response to it when I first saw it. I just thought, oh, a pen. How droll. So cleaning up this upper area here. They have a surprising amount of health, those prowlers. More than you'd think they would. Gotta be very careful with them. Classic nightmare behaviour there. Alkaline's nightmare being pretty much vanilla's, just standing still spamming. Which I enjoy. Especially when ogres do it. Super nail gun down here. Second one for those who missed the first. Nice bit of redundancy. Much easier to find that one as well, that's kind of a more logical secret. So here I'm trying to figure out how to get onto this platform here. You can just jump across to it, what I did then, if you do a better circle jump. Or a slightly higher ramp jump, but my brain really wasn't in it. There is a second way up, which I know about, which I'm going to use now. Which is a harder way up, but it's the one that I just feel more comfortable doing, which is to ramp jump up there. And the reason I do that anyway is because there's a vent. And it's like an instant reminder of, oh, there's a vent right in front of me. So what have we got here? This is vital for one of the secret areas. If you want the gold key, you've got to do these jumps. And there's two ways to do this. One, you can grenade jump across the gap and over the crate. And two, is you can kind of do your first jump and then ramp jump up that bit of trim. And then jump again to get the extra height. And then you can just circle jump across this gap and you get the gold key card. But you can just grenade jump, or you can come back when you've gone to the exit and use your triple jump boots. So you've got lots of choices, basically. It's a feast for all skill levels. Though what it unlocks is definitely not a feast for all skill levels. There's some really unrepentantly tricky platforming in these maps. That again, that's quite a tricky one. It's just a circle jump, but it's got to be a relatively decent circle jump to get there with just double jump boots. Because you're not going to need the red if you've already got the next pair of boots, because the map's basically over. So here's one of two jumping challenges I think is actually legitimately quite tricky. And I'll kind of talk through it here. So you're climbing all the way up. The first jump here is like, you want to double jump and then slide up the ramp and then turn and then use the momentum just to carry on. Then there's some double jumps. There's a double jump through a small gap. You can't jump off the top of the pipe onto this platform. You've got to ramp jump up and then double jump. And this here is actually, I thought I was doing this a bit cheekily the first time, but it's actually intended. You have to slide up with the first jump and then use your second jump that's in reserve to get up there. But you could rocket jump up here, or you could do whatever you want really, it doesn't actually matter that much. And the final jump is just a jump across to the platform and then double jump off the ramp. And you get called the Jumping Master. It's a very intimidating looking jump, and it is much harder than anything you'd see in vanilla Quake usually. Outside of Quake World, but it's still quite forgiving, I think. It's a nice challenge for people like me who aren't good enough to play defrag, but are quite good at the single player. Makes us feel big. And you get the reward of the quad, sorry, the trifecta, which is the quad, the pentagram, and regenerating health, mega, I think, to charge that entire area, which is very nice. So now we've released the force field, and that means the exit is now open, which is what you can see straight ahead. So the meat of the map is now done, and what's left is just a challenge for people who crave the challenge. You have this ambush set up here, but because these guys are deaf, it doesn't really work. I think it'd probably be a bit cooler if they reacted to you shooting at the guys, you know, because it's going to kind of push you to shoot beyond the shield into those guys with the rocket. Make it so they wake up and then kind of come out to attack from another angle. Just collecting the last two secrets here. This vent one is very sneaky, very hard to see because of the lighting. So there's 3 more secrets to tell the truth, but those are the 2 that I always would forget. Had to really drill that into my head. Don't get crushed by the crate there. It won't kill you, but it's embarrassing. This one will kill you, however. This one does just not stop until you die. And there's a jump up here. Now, you can't make that with a single pair of jump boots, I don't think. I think maybe you can ride on top of that crate, but I don't know. It's like a honeypot, because it looks, oh, I could do that. That's makeable, and it'll kill you instantly. So watch out for that. Kind of a useless radsuit, though. And here is what the secret gold key does, and there was a shield there to stop you from coming in here without getting the exit open. And you have the final challenge, which is really a lot more like something you'd see in a Quake World jump map. So the trick here is to keep moving, but it's actually generous enough that if you keep moving really fast, you're probably going to overshoot the platforms, even if you like strafe around. And it's you only have to keep moving for the end section. But the trick here, of course, is you accelerate when you're turning in the air. With the jump boots, you can double jump and you can just turn to your heart's delight. And the friction frames when you land don't really hold you back too much. So that entire thing there is just jump round. Once you get to that final string of jumps from the drop down, you've got to do it all in one go. It's straightforward. If you fail the jump with the triple jump boots, though, let me tell you, it's a bad time, because you have a quadruple jump, and it actually made it a lot harder for me, because the thing about using the jump boots is if you don't touch the ground completely when you hit jump, it'll just go, oh, you want to double jump or triple jump or whatever. So your jump won't recharge. So if you jump a split second too early, and you've got that extra jump in reserve, it won't go click, so you don't go, oh, I've got to jump again. You'll just jump again, overshoot your platform, and that's the end of it. But doing that, as you can see there, I just discharged into the water. just a fun jumping thing. It's surprising though, I've never seen anything quite like that outside of, I think, Cookie's got a map called Hellhole that does it. Very few maps really go for the, you know, these are the advanced jump tactics that you need and techniques you use, and it's thrilling to see. I'd really like to see more maps that take advantage of the advanced movement stuff in Quake, and just go, well, you know, ramp jumping, bunny hopping, air control, circle jumps, go for it. In the mandatory progression as well, you know. Doom has a hardcore community, Quake can have a little one too. But then again, you know, I mean, this is what it is, it's a niche thing. At the end of the day, most people don't want it, fair enough. But I love it, and I love this map. Thanks, Mazu, really good time. Not really got much else to say about it, really. Just a really solid map. 4 days work. Knocked out of the park, really. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. Please give this map a go. Give it a go, give the jumps a go as well. You might find you really enjoy them. You never know. It's a cool challenge. Something a bit out of the ordinary. Have a nice day. See ya.